Okay, I wanted to give you a quick overview just to prep you for the last question on the homework. The first question is another practice problem of building accumulation, this time an accumulation graph from a rate function that you'll build. So that we should be good on that. Number two is reviewing the formula and some aspects of that formula. Again, we should be good on that. So number three is what I wanted to talk to you about. And so number three is about using graphing calculator just to get these red dots that mark the endpoints of the interval. Okay, so that means that you would have, you need a starting value for the red dot, and that's our value A. And you'll need to have a interval width, that's our delta x. And then you'll need one more command line after those two that generates those dots. So just wanted, or those points. So just wanted to give you an overview of how you can generate lots of points in one command line instead of having to do a command line for every single one, which would be very inefficient. So let me just open up a new window here. We know that a point is our control 2, and that's how we plot a point. So suppose that at x equals 4, I wanted to plot several points along the line x equals 4. So I could just say b, and then I can declare b, and then I'm going to use control equals to say that b is a member of, and then braces, which is shift brackets, and I can put in some different values here. So I could put in 2 and 5 and 7.8. And so what that's going to do is it's going to place all those values separately in for B and give us 3 points. Let me zoom out here. And there they are. So in one command line, by letting B be these different values, it's plotting the points 4, 2, 4, 5, and 4, 7.8 all at once. Okay, so now suppose I wanted to plot lots of points, and I didn't want to type out, 100 or 50 different y values for these points. So what I can do is we can say we want them starting at 2 and going every, say, 0.1. So if I go 2, comma 2.1, and then comma, if I do control semicolon, it gives you the dot, 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 which means continue the same way. Continue like this. All right, and so then comma, and say I want to stop at 8. So that's going to plot 60 points where the b values start at 2, then 2.1, then 2.2, all the way up to 8. So we should see lots of points. So suppose, oh, that was too many. Suppose I want them every, instead I want them every 0.2. So now it's going to plot 30 points, and there, that's looks a little better. Okay, so using this technique with one command line, we can plot many points. And so likewise, we want to use one command line to, given the value of A and given the value of delta x, we want to plot many, many points. So just as one more piece of advice, when we put that command line in, did I change? Yeah, so your response to this item, I've kind of put that whole explanation that I just talked about here, again, starting here on number 3 in the homework. All of this is that similar type explanation to what I've just given, but I want to point out. So it says your response to this item is simply the command line. You're going to write it out by hand. There's nothing, you're not going to submit a graphing calculator file, but just write out by hand the command line that will achieve the desired result. Again, the desired result of putting those, of getting those red points that are the endpoints of our interval on the x-axis. Okay, so I want to point out this: when you do that, the set of values should be starting at 0 and saying going up to 100 to plot the first 100 points. So in the past, students have put the symbols A and delta x in this list to generate it, which works, but it's a lot more efficient just to let j be an index that goes from 0 to 100, and let the first part of your line, this part, contain A and delta x accordingly, so that it will graph all those points starting at A on the x-axis according to the delta x that you choose. Okay, I hope that helps. If you still have questions, you can shoot me an email and we'll try to clear it up.